Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I'm not outside today, even though it's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday here in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. I have finally put together our Main Street bingo card. We've been talking about it. I talk about Main Street bingo every time we hit a small town, and here it is. This is just something I think I made up. If someone else has done this earlier, I do apologize. I'm not stealing credit. This is just something I've had in my brain for a long time. And so I've made a bingo card. I think what we'll do is maybe once a quarter update this. If anyone wants to play along, go to your Main Street and see what you can find. Let's take a minute and walk through the bingo card. Right here, town sign. Town sign, those are those beautiful, usually they're wooden, they're painted in brilliant colors. Usually they have like some gold leaf on the lettering. You know them when you see them, those beautiful town signs. Historic hardware store. Why do I say historic? So on this bingo card, when you see just a term without historic, so I'll use post office here. If you see post office, it means any post office. It could be a modern post office or it could be a historic post office. But when I use the term historic, it has to be the historic structure that may not be used for that purpose today. Hardware stores, kind of dating back to the early 1900s, had a characteristic look. They had really big windows, but they weren't as big as the department stores. You know them when you see them. And usually, hopefully, they still have, the name of the building somewhere above the door or near the roof line of the building. A war memorial speaks for itself. Mural, same thing. Maybe we'll think about bonus points for multiple murals. Here we go with historic again. Historic church means a church that has been on the Main Street for a significant period of time. So we'll know it when we see it. I don't want to put rules around how old the church has to be, but can't be a modern church. So think about that. Funeral home, well, that could be modern. So, finding a historic funeral home, there is one in near Sandy Spring, Maryland. That is pretty cool. It has the old funeral carriage in the window. It's on Maryland Route 108 as you're going, either from Montgomery County toward Howard County or from Howard County toward Montgomery County. Street banners. These are those signs typically hung from the street lamps. Sometimes they honor veterans who served in wars, who were residents of the town. Other times they have events, upcoming events in the town, but those banners that kind of line the main street. We already talked about the post office. Could be old, which is really a treat, or it could be the new post office. This is my favorite one if you've watched my Main Street walks. The historic bank is a bank. What I mean by that is typically the historic bank building architecture is really characteristic of a bank. Usually stone, sometimes with arched windows and doors. Many times it has the wrought iron grates in front of the windows. Sometimes it has brass doors. If you're lucky enough to take a peek inside, hopefully some of the historic features are still there. And for this particular square on the bingo card, it has to still be a bank. A bank is a bank on Main Street. Visitor center. Fountain. Town clock. I didn't put historic there. We can use our good judgment for that one. Train station. Town square. Decorative street lamps. So kind of going together with the street banners. Sometimes main streets have those old-time street lamps. They don't have to be the historic ones, but maybe they're meant to replicate the historic street lamps. Historic plaques on homes. Sometimes it'll say this residence has been designated a historic site in this town, or maybe there's a historic easement that's been granted. Historic plaque on the homes. Courthouse doesn't have to be the historic courthouse. Could be a more modern courthouse. But the theater / cinema has to be a historic theater. Town park or town garden. Fire station, old or new. Historic marker, something telling visitors about the history of the town. Historic department store. Similar to the hardware store, they're pretty recognizable. Department stores usually have bigger windows and are larger, multiple stories. Town hall, this might be where the mayor is or the local government is situated. And a water tower might not be on Main Street, usually not, but it could be visible from Main Street. Now this square here, it's not free. Main Street Bingo is not free. This is the bonus challenge. If you've walked along main streets with me, you've heard me say, oh, bonus points for certain things. We could have super bonus points for, let's see, farmers market that is happening on the day that we visit. That's a super bonus point. We can visit the fire department and they're washing the engines on that day. That could be a bonus point. We have a train station and the train arrives or departs while we're there. Those are some ideas for super bonus challenges. They're subject to change. This game is all about my rules. I welcome your input. I'm so glad that so many of you have chosen to join me on my little Main Street walks. I really enjoy that. I think this is my first, this isn't a live, I'm not going to do this as a live stream, but this is my first video from my desk here, where I do plan, sort of, some of my little ramblings. And this activity was actually in my notebook for a while. So although I didn't ramble today, I want to be able to check this one off. Yeah, I use a Travelers. I'm addicted to Travelers. So here on my my Just Go page, see down here, make the Main Street Bingo card. So I can check that one off this part of my Just Go list. Thanks to everyone for joining me on my little travels. I'm working on several videos right now. I have a video on Logan Circle. We visited there on 4th of July. And I've done some research and I have some really great photos from the Library of Congress to share. So that video is in progress. I am also working to organize my completist lists and planning to put some videos together to document those. Several of those will be documenting the different lines of the London Underground, where I visited all the stations on a particular line. I have the C&O Canal, all of the mile markers along the C&O Canal, and of course my great big project from last year that really launched my channel. Well, my channel was always my channel for me, but launched my channel where folks actually want to join me, which I still can't believe anyone wants to join me on my ramblings. But the big project was visiting all the embassies in and around Washington, D.C. And I have a huge video to document every single one after we finished that adventure last year. Print out your Main Street Bingo card. Go to the posts section of my channel, or I think it also can be the community section. I think YouTube changed that. It was posts and then it changed to community and then it went back to posts. So you can go there, and if you click on the attachment you'll actually get the full bingo card. So feel free to print it out and visit your main streets. I want to hear about all the main streets where you live and how many boxes on the bingo card you can complete. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead of you. Take care.